Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is a Sunday. We are blessed to have this time to just have a look at what happened today and also over the week. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all our viewers and subscribers, and to also add them that if you're joining, kindly, if you have a question or interact, anything you want to share with us, feel free to just type in the comment section whether it's a question or not, or something else. We'll be able to give our opinion. Before we continue, I'll give you a chance, Mr. Meguda, to say hi to our viewers before we proceed.
Thank you. Greetings to you, Mark. Greetings to all our viewers. Greetings to new subscribers, new viewers. This is Brother Benson Media, and always, as our tag is, your opinion counts. Welcome to the show, and let us have a very bit vigorous or meaningful interaction. Karibuni sana.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you. And I just wanted us to go directly to the discussion of today, and one that really trended, and one that really brought so many questions to the mind of the people of Kenya is the pressure by the cabinet secretary, who was a former Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya. If you can remember, when he was still the Attorney General, he was the AG. His son was abducted, and after some times he was released. And today he had a presser, and he shared some of the critical information that he's been holding for quite some time. And from his comments and the pressure that he gave, it was really disturbing the people of Kenya that if the son of a cabinet secretary, if the son of attorney general, you know, would be arrested or abducted. And if you listen to him, it's really tough to even understand what really transpired, because he was abducted, according to his statement, by gangsters, and then he was released after some times. And the government came out and said that they were not aware of those people who've been abducting. Lately, we've seen abductions here and there. And again, the government has come out clear to say that they're not aware, and they do not know the people who are doing the abductions. Last weekend, the same cabinet secretary was with the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, in Embu. And he spoke and he said that it is wrong for those working with the government, the cabinet secretaries, including the CS of Interior, to come in front of the people of Kenya, and also the AG, the IG, Inspector General, to also come and tell the people of Kenya that he is not aware of the people who are abducting. And so, according to his presser today, he was saying that the kind of statement which are coming from the leadership of the Republic of Kenya, they're not being truthful. And again, it shows that they do not care about the people of Kenya, and also they are not, performing their duties as per what the Constitution says. And so I just wanted to play this clip, Mr. Migura, so that you'll, just give your view on this pressure that, minute.
I joined the Kenya Kwanza coalition owing to the fact that the principles that they espoused are in tandem with the principles of the party I belong to, namely the Democratic Party of Kenya. Many friends and political colleagues at the time warned me against joining the coalition, but at a personal level, I was persuaded that would be driven by the ideals and the values that the coalition stated as a hustler nation to do the best for the people of Kenya. One of the things we had accused the past regimes of was the existence of disappearances and extrajudicial killings of Kenyans, and we vowed that we would never, at our watch, condone or allow such. We stated this time and time again in the lead up to the last general election. Today, there has been a number of abductions and in some cases unexplained deaths since the Gen Z revolts of June last year. And it is unfortunate as most of the people being abducted and or killed are our youth, leaving the parents, relatives, and friends, other family members in a state of confusion and loss. I have personally suffered as my son was abducted and disappeared, and I was not sure whether he was alive or dead, making us anxious and leaving me and my wife and the rest of the family in turmoil. It must be remembered that at that time, I was the serving Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and as is well known, a member of the National Security Council as comprised under Article 240 of the Constitution. Despite making several requests, I was unable to trace my son and I made demands to all the levels of the security apparatus of the country. Now, more than 6 months later, after that ordeal and the release of my son by unknown forces, he has not been charged with any offense, and the government at all levels has not been able to give me any explanation or reasons as to his abduction by hooded armed gangsters. Ladies and gentlemen, I have taken this unusual, the security sector has said that they are not involved in the abductions, but interestingly, they have failed to stop them as they are happening in full public glare. The president has equally said that he would want to see the abductions end. Kenyans want to know how many of our youths have been taken in since the abduction started, how many have been released, how many are still being held, and where it is that they are being held. On Friday last week, to which the 3rd of January, at a funeral in Embu, I stated categorically that it was not possible for the government to say that it did not know anything about the abductions, because that amounts to shunning its responsibility on accountability. That is why I took the issue with a statement made by the Inspector General of Police that he did not know where the abductees are. In my view, the government cannot be excused for abdicating its duty of protecting the lives and property of the people of Kenya. I note that after my statement in Embu on Friday last week, a number of the youths that had been abducted and held in Communicado have been released. But from the reports that we see every day, there are still many that are still being held. the cardinal duty of the state and the government is to protect the lives and livelihood of its citizens and cannot claim to be unaware of such serious breaches of the rights of Kenyans to live free from wrongful confinement and the violation of their inalienable right to life. Therefore, the security forces should arrest and bring to book all those that are involved in the abductions without fail, and all the young people being held in illegal captivity should immediately be freed. I'm fully aware of the doctrine of collective responsibility of cabinet. But since I'm also a victim of the abductions and serving in this government, I have taken, I've not gotten any answers as to why my son was abducted, held incommunicado, and nobody gave any reasons for that abduction. I have taken this unusual step so that the matter of abductions and or extrajudicial activities being committed by whomever can now be honestly and robustly debated in the country with a view to finding a lasting solution to this scourge, which, if left unchecked, has the potential to plunge the country into chaos and anarchy.
Thank you, Mr. Miguda. You can hear me?
Very clear.
You can hear me?
Clearly, I can
Okay,
hear
yeah.
you.
So I hope you've watched this clip, and I just wanted us to, just to give our opinion on the comments of CS Muturi. Remember the CS Muturi before he was, sometimes back, he was the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and as you've heard from him, he was also sitting in the Security Council, and that means that he was there among the people who are being briefed on the security of the Republic of Kenya. And while he was, the Attorney General, his son was, abducted, and that tells you that there's something that is amiss in this government. And so I just wanted to ask you, as someone with knowledge of what the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, speaks and what it has, what do you have to say about, the comments of a cabinet secretary who is serving in the government of the day, who has been a speaker of the National Assembly, who has been the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and still currently a cabinet secretary in the serving government? What is your take on his comments in the whole press that he had?
Justin Bidan Muturi is not only a cabinet secretary currently in the UDA government, he has as well served as the Speaker of the National Assembly during the tenure of Uhuru Kenyatta, the last regime. Actually, before he became Speaker, he was once a member of Parliament. He was elected member of Parliament. He has served as a member of Parliament in the Parliament before we have a bicameral house. That is before the 20th Constitution. We used to have Parliament. He has served in Parliament as a member of Parliament in the constituency where he's coming from. And he served as a Speaker. Actually, he has served twice during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta. It's privilege as well that he has served in the executive, other than serving in Parliament as one of the most senior officials in that house as a Speaker. He has also got the privilege to serve as the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, who is the part of the Cabinet Secretaries, and privilege that he sits by that time in the National Security Council. Understand that the head of the National Security Council is the President. If he serves there. He also served in the judiciary. Remember, he is a lawyer by profession. He has served in the bars. He's also practiced law as a state counsel. If he sits in the National Security Council as a member, it means that all the briefings, security briefings, are with the National Security Council. There's nothing they are not privy to. If at that time you could have not traced whoever abducted the son, that's what we're trying to raise up. But I would like to view that because you have talked about the issue of Embu. When they were at Embu, I believe that he reads the moods of the ground. He listens to the ground the way Rigathi Gachagua has been saying that he listens to the ground, because he himself he was mandated to read the president's speech at that burial, but the people who were gathering at the burial refused. They declined to receive that message from the president, and they ordered him to give that message to the family, the bereaved family. And everybody who supports abduction in that funeral, he was not allowed to. The way the reception was not good, but the people who were anti-abduction were well received. He read the ground. The reason why he has decided to call the press conference, in my view, he wants to concur with the people that he is a victim of the circumstance. He wants to join Kenyans that because he has been a victim, and him being a victim, one of the most senior members in the cabinet by that time, when his son was abducted, he could not even get reports from the National Security Council where the whereabouts of the son. What about an ordinary mwananchi? What about an ordinary person? It means that he's joining other Kenyans to condemn abduction. He is condemning abduction within the government because he cited that they have that role of collective responsibility as the cabinet secretaries. But he is distancing himself from that collective responsibility by coming out bold and condemning the abduction, and he directs it to the government's doorstep that they are the one who are privy, because if they cannot stop abduction, if they are not operating the abduction, why can't they stop those abduction? It's a clear indication that there's a rift in the cabinet. In my view, the cabinet is not in a unison. There's a rift whereby there are some members in the cabinet who cannot sit in that cabinet with the so-called collective responsibility, watching other people's rights being violated. That's why you're cited about the constitution and the rights which are being inalienable, that are being violated. You can't see, because if himself, his son to date, has not been brought before justice. And the reason why I intend to agree with JB Muturi is because I read the DCI report. Actually, DCI responded to that statement. DCI wrote and said that the files are ready, they are somewhere, and soon the child will be brought before due process of the law. It simply means that they are admitting that the abductions, they are aware. At the same time, they are denying that they're not aware of the abduction. It's a clear indication that JB Muturi has refused to shut up. But also in the political context, because he has mentioned the DP party, which is very important, that he mentioned the DP party, he mentioned about UDA, and is right now is like he's walking out of the UDA party, but also he want to walk out with a genuine reason that he cannot sit and watch the people being abducted the same regime he's having, because he has been a state council, he has been an official ranking member of the parliament, he has also been part of the judiciary. So it means that he cannot see when the constitution is being violated by the same regime, but he is ready to defend the constitution even at the cost of losing his job. Because the people right now are saying all over that he's destined to resign. That's why he's destined to resign, because you know the kind of government we have right now. You cannot attempt to utter such words, then they will let you go to serve in the government. The next time they will show him the door, and that's why they'll show him the exit, and that is why he's destined. I believe that I just support him because he has come out to join other fellow Kenyans to condemn the issue of abduction, because if the AG by that time was not saved, a member of the National Security Council was never saved. What about Mama Mboga? What about Mutu Boda Boda? It means that we are not safe. So it's a collective responsibility for each and every person to defend and uphold the Constitution. Back to you, Makubur.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Migoda. Something else that I also wanted you to expand on is, Muturi is a cabinet secretary, and they do have meetings uh, chaired by the president, deputy president, together with all the cabinet secretaries. And from my understanding, they have the attention of the president, and by attending these cabinet meetings, such kind of differences or such kind of pleas that they have, if they want some clarification, they can get all this clarification in the meetings that they do attend. What can you say about his move, to hold a presser? Does it mean that within the cabinet they are not being listened to by the president or the deputy president? Why would a cabinet secretary come out and hold a presser criticizing a government that they're serving? Does it mean that there's some level of misunderstanding, or this the president, who is actually the leader of the country, is not listening to some cabinet secretaries? Or does it mean that he's single-handedly making decisions without listening to these cabinet secretaries as well? We've seen members of parliament, the likes of Sudi, the likes of Ishongwa, coming out to support the government and to say that, people should be abducted. Actually, from what they're saying that people should be abducted if they, especially young people, if they're not doing what is right. And this is a cabinet secretary coming, with all the privileges that he has. What does this tell you about the leadership of the president?
In the cabinet secretaries, in the cabinet meeting, there is collective responsibility, which Muturi has just cited. And there is even to an extent that you cannot disclose anything you have discussed in the meeting. Whatever you discuss in the cabinet meeting, it remains in the cabinet meeting. You have a oath that you don't need to disclose it to the public. And by him coming out single-handedly and calling out the press to condemn abduction, in my view, maybe they have tried to address that issue in the cabinet. That's why in my initial submission, I said that this rift, it's like there's a rift in the cabinet, whereby there are some section of members of cabinet who are not comfortable with the current abductions in the country, because abductions are illegal. They are not legal. And even these cabinet secretaries, they are not from the moon. They are from our villages, our homes. And maybe they are also affected. Like JB was affected directly. Some other people, maybe they have been affected. They are also receiving phone calls that kindly, if you are in the meeting cabinet, address these issues. So they have tried to address these issues, but it's like it's still on, because right now there are even some young men who are in the custody against their will. It means that the abductions are still on, and the people who are operationalizing these abductions have not come clear to the mind of the public. That's why, in my view, that's why I say that he has taken a bold move by JB, because to this extent, it's like he's even ready to resign, he's ready to be fired, he's ready to do anything, because the way he has clearly stated his press is that he regrets joining UDA. He regrets when DP joined UDA, because there was some section of members of the DP who advised him not to join UDA. But with his own political rights, he decided to join UDA. It means like it's now is a clear indication to him that I can get out of this government. I don't care. It's like he don't care. It's just like chest thumping. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I'm on my way, because you can't purport that I'm serving you. My son has been abducted. There have never been reports clear to me who abducted my sons and whereabouts and the case on. And remember also the current political dynamics in the country. What is happening in Mount Kenya? The mountain is going away, and that's a very strong wave. Maybe that it doesn't want that wave to sweep him. You want to swim with the current political dynamics of the time. It's so politics. It can also be politics, but most importantly, I believe that they have tried to address the issue in the cabinet. And if it takes someone to an extent of calling a press conference, because we have one government, one cabinet, whereby the head of the cabinet is the president, we need to receive information directly from the president, not from the CSS, because it's the president who chaired the cabinet meeting. After chairing, he got all the briefs and information from the meeting. And that's why he used to move across the country trying to explain to people whatever they have discussed in the cabinet meeting, but not the cabinet secretaries. If it has taken a cabinet secretary's step to do so, it means that I can quote Babu Owino. Go to X space. Babu Owino said that the Tower of Babel is about to go down, and I believe that's where we are.
Okay, thank you. Talking of abductions, the two gentlemen who were abducted in Mlolongo, they've not been released, and their families are also crying to the government or to whoever is responsible to release these gentlemen, by them saying that they were the breadwinners of their families. And again today, we saw an activist, a Tanzanian activist, also was abducted in Kilimani. And this evening, we saw the husband giving a press as well. And he said that, her wife, who is an activist, had gone to make her hair. And then he was told by the securities when he was looking for her that he was abducted. So my question to you is, do you think the government is not aware of who is abducting the people of Kenya and the foreigners or those people who come to Kenya?
I can't say that the government is not aware of the people abducting foreigners or the people abducting Kenyans, because I believe that the government, more so the president, there's nothing that the president does not know in this country. He's privy to each and every information. He's privy even to the security information. He's privy to the information concerning the security apparatus of this country. He's at his desk. There's nothing you can plan or plot illegally that the president is not aware. The president is privy to each and every intel in the country. That's the work of the NIS. NIS are busy all over, everywhere, doing that work for the president. And the president always is ahead of the people because he's having the first-hand information, very reliable information. In my view, I believe that even if the government is not aware of those people abducting people, but the president is aware, because even if they are gangs, even if they are civilians, but already they are known, because our NIS are also not stupid. They are all over. They are spread. Actually, they are one of the best intelligence service we have globally. They are very much aware of what's going on. And we are just appealing that they know the actual abductors, not that they do not know. They know. Because sometimes they say that it is refugee. Sometimes they say it's not police officers. Police officers are saying it's not us. DCI thing is not, it's not DCI. But I believe that the people who are plotting all these abductions, they're somewhere, because I believe that there is a center of command. There's a center of command somewhere. And this center of command as some people who are well known to each other. And this operational team, be the police officers, be the civilians, these operational teams are getting orders from the center of command, and they are executing whatever they are executing. I believe the people who are abducting Kenyans, we have even seen some of them with their Subarus and their number plates. You can't say that these people are not known. They are known, because even today there was some of them were about to be stoned somewhere in Kirinyaga. The members of the public turned violence against them. I believe that they are aware, the government is aware, they know them, and obviously they cannot admit that they know what's happening in the country, because abductions are illegal. Actually, abductions, those are just crimes against humanity, because there is no humanity who is permitted to be abducted by any person, be it the police officers, be it a civilian. You don't have that right to abduct a person. A person has that freedom of movement, has that right to live, because you don't know the consequence of abduction. Someone who has abducted you might end up killing you. You are going to lose life, and you have that right to life. Abduction, those are crimes against humanity. Those are the one of the elements of crimes against humanity, and they are serious offenses to an extent that they can be charged into the International Criminal Court.
Okay, thank you. The Catholic bishop heading the Diocese of Nyeri, Bishop Muheri, he was telling the leaders, the political leaders, that they should stop insulting and also causing confusion. They should stop using words which are, causing confusion and also widening the gap between uh, the good relationship between the people and the leaders. He's also reminding the political leaders that they should stop using the altar of the churches to dress what they think they have, to insult the people of Kenya. Not, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? There was a comment of the member of parliament of Dadaab, Farah Maling, and the choice of word that he used to insult those having different opinion or those not supporting the government moves, was not a good one. And this is not the first time that we've had a leader of his caliber, making such kind of comments. Remember, Farah Malim was once a deputy speaker in the 10th parliament, if I'm not wrong. And he has been one of the best politicians that I've ever seen and ever known until this government came in power. I don't know what has happened to Farah Malim. Nowadays, the choice of word that he used, if you remember last time he said that if he was the cabinet secretary, he would have maybe, killed around 500, not less than that, not less than 500 demonstrators. And these are words which are coming from leaders, members of parliament. People should be advocating for the lives, ensuring that the lives of the people are, protected. That the people, and Mark, they make these comments in front of the president. Honorable Sudi, the member of parliament of Kapseret, telling the people of Kenya in front of the president that if we got this presidency, even though there were a group of people who are not really supportive of it, do you think it can be tough for us to maintain up to the second term that Ruto cannot be a one-term president, he goes ahead and says that tunaweza karabati the same way walikarabati, na tena anasema hata kama ni kura, anajua mahali wanaweza pata hizo kura, so that they ensure that Ruto becomes, takes on the second term. The same sentiments also, echoed by members of parliament. There's this young member of parliament, Ruben, I'm forgetting his full name, making the same comments in Rongai, and also the member of parliament of Rongai in Nakuru made the same. A group of ODM members of parliament are also making or echoing the same sentiments. And then you ask yourself, are we really having representatives, lawmakers? But again, the former deputy president also came out and reminded the president that the constitution says that the IEBC should be in place as soon as it can, but we've not seen it. And the people of Kenya also worried. Why is it that they're taking long to put the IEBC in place? And the longer they take, the comments of these honorable members, the likes of Sudi, it could be they're planning something that we are not aware of. So we have to also ask what is happening. Why is it that they're not constituting the IEBC? Could it be as per the comments of Sudi, wanajaribu kupanga wale ambao watawatengenezea mambo? What do you have to say about the comments of these members of parliament? Not forgetting what the Cabinet Secretary of Interior was saying about those who are criticizing the government. They are speaking the same language, a language of threat. And that anyone who is criticizing the government, be hit in social media, they'd be arrested. And if you remember, there was a comment from the majority leader who said that ukienda kutafuta kazi, tutaangalia your social media. Kama umewahi criticize the government, you'll not be given the opportunity. And that those who are criticizing the government, they should know that if they're going to look for a job in the near future, their social media accounts would be looked. And if there's any comment or anything that they would have said about the government, they would be denied the opportunity. What do you have to say about all these comments of honorable members?
Honorable members, most of them, I can say they are good. They are good ones in the art house, but some of them are not honorable members because of their actions, what come out from their mouth, and whatever they are trying to tell the people. For instance, if you are telling people that if you are going to look for a job, we look for your social media handle, and we are not going to give you that job. We are a constitutional democracy state. By the time some of them will look for those jobs, maybe you are out of the office. It doesn't mean that you are going to be in that government for life. This government is not permanent, that once I'm the president or I'm the majority leader, I'll be there forever. We have seen majority leaders before. We have seen presidents before. There have been presidents in the country, and presidents have been there. There will be presidents, even at Ruto. There will be many presidents. It doesn't mean that those people must go and look for job with this current regime. Some of them might even look for the jobs after the regime is gone by whatever time they want to leave the government. It doesn't matter. Some of them are not even got a comeback in re-election. And if they look for if that is how they want to treat young people, then they're going to miss their target. Because Even that job, where is that job you are going to apply? Where is that job? Some of the young people, they have opted for self-employment. Some of the young people are doing other things to earn a living. And if that is a threat, then I'm sorry for them. Because even the people who are saying that they're going to deal with online users, unfortunately, they are also their silhouettes are out on the X. If you go to X page, you saw their silhouettes. They are all over. Those people who are saying they are going to deal with the young people and users. Those are just threats, and sometimes they do work, sometimes they don't work. But what is important is do not try to view that your opinion is the best, because with them they're speaking whatever they want to speak. Some of them utter whatever they want to utter, but they don't want to be responsible. They don't want to be questioned. They don't want to record statement to the relevant authority. Some of them are threatening people because even there is no law that permit anyone to threaten a person, because if you believe that that person has committed an offense, do a process is available for that person. Don't threaten any person. And also do not use this word selective, that they are only usable by the leaders, but when critics use them, the critics are being met with the full force of the law. That is now is like that is no longer democratic space. They are limiting people's democratic space and right. Me, I don't see why they should fear, because these people don't have any gun. These people do not have any police station or police cell. They don't have tear gas. They don't have rounds, bit live or bullet. These people, they are just expressing their democratic views, which is they are at liberty. They're just in their democratic activity by expressing their views, and they're not even coming to their doorsteps to do anything. This, in my view, they should just be allowed to express their views, because even the critics themselves have not interfered with the members of parliament, the CS, who are uttering or words which are not they are not good for the society. And this issue of morality, they are the people who should be first have that morality. And the people who are using such words, they should be very careful, Makobura, because sometimes do watch these cases of ICC, follow those cases very keenly. You know, whenever you are in the International Criminal Court, they play for you, even what we are doing right now here. They play for you that at one point, Makobura, you are inciting people on social media. That's why I've been very cautious about that. Do not incite anybody. Makobura, at this one point, you are spreading propaganda to war. Makobura, at this point, you are spreading hatred to the community, because we are a diverse community society. You should be very careful. Whatever you are saying, should be very careful. Should not interfere with any hatred, violence, or incitement, because at one point you might be caught up with this so-called justice system. And if you look at those ICC cases very keenly, they are just simple utterances, which are going to be simple, are the ones which are being brought before the court, and they're being presented as elements of crimes against humanity. And at that time, they will know that they should be very careful. They should be very, very careful, more so as a leader, with whatever you are saying, because you can't purport to be a leader who swore in with the holy, be it whatever Bible or Quran, to defend, uphold, and respect the Constitution. At the same time, you are violating the same laws which you swore to protect. It's very unfortunate for a leader, and we believe that because in the Constitution there's that leadership and integrity, whereby there's that criteria for one to be a leader, how you should conduct yourself, whatever you should be saying, and whatever you should be do at what time. So those are things which they should avoid at all costs, because we are a constitutional democracy. There's no permanent. No one is permanent. You can't be a governor forever. You can't be a president forever. There's no life presidency here. Here is a democratic place whereby periodically, after every 5 years, we go back to the ballot and elect leaders. You might find yourself on the same side where we are today, and you are in the same side where you are right now. So they should be very careful, and it's very unfortunate for our leaders to utter such words.
ODM party has been a party, that has always been viewed as a fighter for the human rights, a fighter for the democracy. They haven't shown, sometimes back they've been known for a party that stands with what the constitution says. Of late, we are seeing they've totally diverted, and some of, comments which are coming from the top leaders of ODM party, the minority leader, Honorable Junet, the honorable member from Oma Bay Town, Opondo Kaluma, uh, the comments of Langata, member of parliament, Jalango, you know, majority of the ODM leaders, they have forgotten that at some point back, sometimes back, not so far ago, they were standing with the right, with the, with the people. Currently, they're the people who are reminding the president that he has the power and that he should crush anyone who is having a different opinion from what they believe. We've seen members of parliament from the ODM side. Most of them nowadays they work with the president. And sometimes they're given the opportunity to, they're the people who start speaking, so start spewing words which are not, which are not pro people, but words which are, there to just defend the president and the executive and the government. Remember, Raila has been the party leader of ODM, and currently he's seeking for the AUC seat. And from the behavior of the members of parliament from the ODM side, currently Raila is, from the analysis and everything that we are seeing about his bid for the AUC seat, majority of the problems that he's facing are coming from the comments of his soldiers. You find that a group, there's so many Kenyans who are not even supporting his bid for the AUC seat just because he used to lead a party that defended the people. And because of his interest and the interest of some members of parliament and the ODM group, they are supporting a government that is abducting the people of Kenya. And they're saying it is right to abduct them, and that the parents of the people of Kenya have not taught, they've not given a good lesson to their children so that they can behave well. The other day when they were not in government, they were on the street crying every now and then, saying how the government of Ruto is, mishandling the people of Kenya and them. Today, the young people of Kenya are being tear gassed left, right, and center when they go to street to remind the government of a responsibility that the leaders swore, carrying the Bible, some of them carrying the Quran. Today, these leaders have the audacity to come out and abuse the people of Kenya. The member of parliament from Dadaab, Farah Malim, today is abusing the people of Kenya. Sometimes back, he said that if given the opportunity, he would kill those people who are going for demonstration. And so we ask ourselves, do you really think these leaders care about the people of Kenya? I like the move of the CS, Muturi. He is a cabinet secretary today. His son was abducted. He doesn't have any information of why he was abducted. He was not taken even to the courts. He was not charged of anything. But he came out today to say that it is wrong and that the government should take charge and they should come out and apologize to the people of Kenya. When are we going to see leaders, members of parliament, the likes of Sudi, the likes of Farah Malim, the likes of Opondo Kaloma, who is also a lawyer and knows what, democracy and what the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya says? And these are people who have been in opposition for quite some time. They understand the challenges and the problems that people who doesn't have power face or goes through. What do you have to say about the greed that we are seeing in our political class? When are we going to have the likes of Muturi in this, in this government? When are we going to have the likes of Babu Owino coming out and dissociating themselves from the comments of the whole DM party that they're supporting the government and this government has to go for the second term, whether they like it or not? Mr. Miguda, before we end, just give us your opinion on that.
My opinion on ODM and Raila AUC, whatever the greed, whatever, no, I'll reserve my opinion because ODM have enough people to speak for them, and they are all over speaking for themselves. And I don't want to shit my politics or my whatever with the ODM because we understand where we are heading to as young people. We just wish Raila all the best for whatever he want to become in Africa, and all the best in his party. Let him organize. And also, I just want to say myself. What I want to say is that the people of Kenya, the people should just the people in government, they should just embrace. They should just live the reality. They should just get the right intel and try to adjust, try to address issues that affect the people. Let them not focus too much on counter attacking the people, whereby they must counter whatever people. If someone has a silhouettes of you in a casket, it's not a big deal because you are living, you are walking, but it's not a big deal to me. If you are a leader, just work for the people, deliver services. Don't mind about those issues. You focus. That's when you can earn your second term. And no one has said that they are not going to get their second term. They will just get, it depends on how they will persuade voters on how they will deliver services. If they work for people, they persuade the people, and they got it right. They can't get it as per the expectation of the people, but if they have shown that there's at least signs, they just get their second term. Makubura, I believe that would be my comment. The issue of ODM and Raila, those are, let me reserve them.
Okay, thank you. I was actually asking myself a question here that from the comments of these leaders, they're saying that whether you vote or whether you do what, they have a way and whatever it takes, hata kama ni kukarabati kura, watakarabati ndiposa waone the second term comes. And I would ask them a question. So what if the people of Kenya have decided that they're not going to fully vote? Will they still make ama kukarabati kura so that Ruto gets back to his second term? I think those are things that we should not be hearing from our political leaders. And such kind of comments, they can really. We've been in this country. We saw what happened in 2007, 2008. The words which come from our political leaders are the ones that fueled the differences and the tribalism and the political chaos that we saw in 2007. There were so many people who died. There were so many people who were displaced. There are so many people who are still suffering, courtesy of what happened in 2007, 2008. If we continue embracing, if we continue listening to these political leaders coming out, to speak directly and to speak negatively about the people of Kenya, if we continue to give them a space to speak to the people of Kenya with this kind of pride, with this kind of disrespect, then I believe that you're not heading in the right direction, and it is so unfortunate that something that should be sorted by the political class, uh, people have people that we've given a chance, people that people that we've given the mandate to represent us. People should be making wise decisions. The ones who are going for rallies and in front of the president, who is the president of the Republic of Kenya, the head of government, they, instead of reminding the president it is wrong to abduct, it is wrong to kill, they are coming out in front of the president and telling me it is right. Continue abducting. If anyone oppose, you can. It is unfortunate. So those are my sentiments to the people in leadership. Uh, let us be a people who cares about our fellow human beings. Uh, Leadership or power is power is something that come and goes. You may be powerful today, tomorrow you'll not be there. The former late president Daniel Torotich Arap Samoei Arap Daniel Torotich Arap Moi was a powerful president, and we all know he had close friends, the likes of the Ward, aka the Total Man. They came and went. So even these people are threatening the people of Kenya. They might have the power today to abduct. They might have the power today to speak negatively and badly to the people of Kenya. They shall come and go without fear or contradiction. It is right to let the political leaders know that the people of Kenya, as per what the Constitution says, they have the power and that the power belongs to them. That is what I have to say tonight. Migoda, maybe your last. I think Migoda has a problem with his network. Yeah, so to our viewers, it's been good that you joined. And okay, I've seen your comment, Gypsy Corner. We'll give that detail tomorrow. There's a comment here from Gypsy Corner. He's saying, remember in Kenya, presidency is for life, minimum 24 years. Remember the song Moi Must Go. I don't believe so, Gypsy Corner. Currently, the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya says that a president has a maximum of 2 terms, and depending with the decision of the people, they can decide that it goes for 1 term of 5 years or 2 terms of 10 years. We, the people of Kenya, we shall never allow if we shall be in this republic, we will never allow a president to extend a term beyond 2, which is stipulated in the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. And we will never allow, by whichever means, allow William Samoei Ruto, if he wants to go for second term, if the people of Kenya have decided that he's going for 2 terms, the better. But past 10 years, suppose, that one shall never come to pass. The people of Kenya are learned, they know their rights. And whether the president has the powers and the cabinet secretaries and the members of parliament, they shall never be allowed to change the will of the people to go past what is there in the constitution. Mr. Migore, you can give us your last remarks on what you wanted to let the people of Kenya know.
last remark today, I don't believe that they can increase that term limit from 5 to 7. And I don't believe that Ruto can go beyond 10. 10 is enough. Just 10 is enough. Currently, the current dispensation and the current society setup, people don't, there is what we call change and transformation of society. We are in a setup whereby, like some of us, when we were young when Kibaki was president, we never saw more. We don't even have the experience of more. We saw Kibaki doing 10, we saw Uhuru doing 10, and we expect anybody after Uhuru will as well do 10. That is when you see people revolting against if you attempt to alter or to amend that provision that you want to do 7 or you want to go beyond 10. People will just come out. The way people came out during the finance bill protest because there are things which are impossible. People saw that if this finance bill is impossible, we have just go out, all of us, and oppose it. That's how that finance bill was never passed by parliament. You can talk about even right now, if you attempt to alter or amend that term limit, maybe 7 years or beyond 10, they will just come out by themselves and they will oppose it. It can't work. In my view, it can never work. That's the only thing they cannot touch. They cannot touch the term, they can never touch term limit whatsoever. People are not ready to go beyond 10 years. That's what they can propose. That's politics. That's what they can say. You understand when there was even they tried to bring BBI behind the door. They tried to bring BBI through. They went to county assemblies, parliament, IBC, but the people of Kenya and the court said no. We must we must give it a final nail to this thing called BBI because as things are, there is no way the court will allow of the people a amendment of the constitution whereby it through some two people or through proposal from somewhere without any popular initiative. The same way there are things that cannot be touched in the constitution, I believe. There are things that can never be touched. They are just let to be for eternity and prosperity of the country. Makobura, I'd like to tell our viewers that thank you for tuning in. And Jab Sekona was telling me that sometimes threats are real. Yeah, threats are real and they can be executed. But how do you survive now because they are real? You have to live with them because those are part of life and those are part of politics because that's how politics is. It's not a. I usually say that politics is not a romance game whereby people have come to show love or to party or to dance. People have gone there for serious business. It's about interest, and that's why you have had there things like hate speech, hatred, spread of hatred, and also things like threats. That is very normal in politics. Threats are normal in politics, and we must live with it. But as a Kenyan people, we are condemning the abduction. We do not want those abductions. Let Kenyan people live freely in a free-based society whereby you live without any fear because some people might abduct you for no reason because there is no ground. If I thought there was ground for those abductions, right now the people were abducted previously last year, they were released. They are all over. They can be arrested. They can be arraigned to court and charged. But they have failed to do so because there is no credible evidence to prove that these people, whatever they were doing online, the people were generating silhouettes. There are no evidence to prove that these people have committed any crime, be it criminal or civil. That's why they have been set free to work in the society. Makobura, see you next time to our viewers. This is Brother Benson Media. For those people watching for the first time, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel because that's how you can support this YouTube channel by subscription. Just click the subscription button. You can as well like the show, you can share, you can thumbs up, you can watch the hard videos. See you next time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Magoda. And For everyone who joined, I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking your time to be with us and to also giving your opinion by commenting. We really appreciate Benson Omondi, asante sana, Brenda Ubedi, asante sana, Kisumu Newsline TV, asante sana, Gypsy Corner. Thank you so much, and everyone who watched and those who will be watching, we really appreciate, and we hope and believe that you'll be joining us every day as we'll be having this conversation. I want to take this opportunity to wish all our viewers and subscribers a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening. Thank you, and may God bless you. See you tomorrow. Asanteni.